Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Ladies Learn English. Today's video is part 2 of the listening practice about women at the Olympic Games. If you haven't yet watched part 1, please click the link below so you can properly understand this two-part exercise. If you are returning after practicing with part 1, I won't make you wait any longer. Here is the article I read, now with the subtitles. And the answers to the worksheet are at the end of the video. Please comment below if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this exercise. Women at the Olympic Games. Adapted from an article written by Robert Wood at topendsports.com. It has been a long road to equality for women at the Olympic Games, and it's still continuing. Participation in the ancient Olympic Games was limited to male athletes only. The only way women were able to take part was to enter horses in the equestrian events. There are records of several winning women horse owners. As the owners of the horse teams, they were credited with the victory, though they were most likely not present at the events. Even in the early years of the modern Olympics, women were not well represented. Women participated for the first time at the 1900 Paris Games with the inclusion of women's events in lawn tennis and golf. Women's athletics and gymnastics debuted in the 1928 Olympics. Over time, many more women's events were added. In 2012, women's boxing was introduced, resulting in no remaining sports that do not include events for women. This is wonderful. Equality in the available sports is one thing, but in many countries, women do not have equal rights to participate in sports and the opportunity to participate in the Olympic Games. Prior to the 2012 Olympics in London, 3 Muslim countries have never before sent a female athlete: Qatar, Brunei, and Saudi Arabia. However, they all sent female athletes to London. Now, every National Olympic Committee has sent women to the Olympic Games. A small step. Here are some milestones. At the first modern Olympic Games in Athens in 1896, no women competed because Coubertin felt that their inclusion would be impractical, uninteresting, unaesthetic, and incorrect. Women first competed at the 1900 Paris Games. Women were allowed to compete in lawn tennis, golf, croquet, and there was at least one woman sailor as part of mixed crews. It is commonly believed that the first woman to win an Olympic event was England's Charlotte Cooper, who won the tennis singles title. However, Swiss sailor Hélène de Portellet won a gold medal as part of a team in sailing even before this. Women competed in swimming events for the first time in 1912, but none of them were from America, because America did not allow its female athletes to compete in events without long skirts. The first women's swimming gold medal was won by an Australian woman. In 1928, women competed in track and field events for the first time. However, so many collapsed at the end of an 800-meter race that the event was banned until 1960. Women's shooting events were first included in the Olympics in 1984. There were 3 events: 3-position rifle, air rifle, and sport pistol. In 1996, a women's only sport was introduced: softball. Softball is currently not part of the Olympic program, but it will be reintroduced in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. This is wonderful news for me personally because I grew up playing softball and it is my favorite sport. So I'm very excited it will be back at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The 2000 Olympics was the first time that women were allowed to compete in weightlifting. A women's wrestling competition was introduced in 2004. Women compete in freestyle wrestling, but not Greco-Roman. There are only 2 Olympic sports where men and women compete directly against each other: equestrian and 1 sailing event. Tennis and badminton have mixed doubles events. With the addition of women's boxing at the 2012 London Games, there are men and women competing in all Olympic sports. However, there are still 2 sporting disciplines that are solely for women: synchronized swimming and rhythmic gymnastics. In cycling in 2012, for the first time, men and women competed in the same number of events in all cycling disciplines. However, women have shorter distances for some events. In Rio 2016, 44% of medals will be awarded in women's events, the highest ever. In 1984, the figure was just around 25%. Okay, and the last part of this listening exercise is great female Olympic achievements. In 1948, Dutch athlete Fanny Blankers-Koen won 4 gold medals, the equivalent of the medals Jesse Owens had won 12 years earlier. She held the world record in the high and long jumps, but did not compete in those as rules prohibited women from competing in more than 3 individual events. British equestrian Lorna Johnstone was 70 years old when she rode at the 1972 Games, thus being the oldest woman to ever compete at an Olympic Games. Joan Benoit of the USA won the first women's Olympic marathon in Los Angeles in 1984. Soviet Maria Gorkovskaya set a record in 1952 for most medals won by a woman in one Olympics, with 2 golds and 5 silvers. That's amazing. U.S. shooter Margaret Murdoch won a silver medal in rifle competition, which at that time included men and women, at the 1976 Olympics. She was the first woman to win a gold medal in shooting at the Olympic Games. Okay, ladies. Now, here are the answers to the worksheet that you downloaded from my website, ladieslearnenglish.com. Comment below after you've checked your answers and tell me how you did. Thanks for participating in this listening exercise. I'd love to hear some feedback, and I would be happy to make more exercises like this in the future if you liked it. Have a great day and take care, ladies. Bye-bye.